What's up, everybody? We're back here with part two, and we're joined by Lord Draws. Lord Draws, where were you, dude?
I died. I'm finally back though. Got
Dude,
that
how'd you come
Phoenix
back to
head.
life?
He's back from the
Dude,
grave. Drop a like for
some
Resurrections on Game Domain.
and I'm gonna be hosting Zombie Domain now. It's gonna
Zombie
be
Domain.
all about resurrection. Perfect.
But before we get into Zombie Domain, let's talk about E3. Fearsome Fire joining us once again for part two. He was actually
What's
at
up?
E3. Fearsome, tell us about your experiences at E3.
My experience was very interesting. It was my first ever E3, and it's like each day that I was there was kind of split into different parts. Like each day I did mainly different things. I actually didn't spend as much time like in the main convention hall as I thought. I spent the first day there, and like I was like in the Nintendo area. I had a media badge, so I got to go in like through the side
Yeah.
entrance, and I got to watch people play Pokemon and Luigi's Mansion. Those are the two games that I kind of cared about. I met Charles Martinet. There was just it's hard. It's like hard to even pick where to begin because there were so many things happening. Um, I guess we can. I'll go further on like the actual like, E3 convention center, but just like some side things that I'm remembering right now. On the second day, I found the YouTube Gaming Creators Lounge, which is like this lounge where that YouTube set up for creators. And you'd like be on this list, and like if you had a channel, I think it was like over 100K subs, and you were a gaming channel, then you were just on the list. I got to go to that, and it was like a couple blocks away from the main E3 event, and that was actually where the coolest part of E3 for me because that was like where like I got to meet so many content creators. It was just really cool what they set up there. I got to try the Google Stadia, which is the new thing that Google has recently announced, and that was like amazing. Like it blew my mind because I was playing on a Chromebook on a Chrome browser, getting 60 FPS playing the new Doom Eternal game. Yeah, there's like a lot of cool stuff. I got to meet a bunch of content creators. I got to meet people behind YouTube. I got to see Elon Musk on the third day. There's so much that was happening. Like it's hard to even like recap what I did see like in like a couple sentences.
Dang, you just seem like you had like the best day ever for the first
Yeah,
week.
I mean, it was like a 3 day thing, but like on the third day, Elon Musk did like this talk where he was there,
Oh,
and it was
he's
like this
there,
like,
dude.
little conversation. Yeah, and I got to
That's
sit
crazy.
and watch that. So I didn't meet him, but I saw him. The really annoying part about that was like once it was over, they asked for questions. They spent like 10 minutes asking for questions, and literally every single question except for two of them was somebody asking for a picture and autograph, and the entire crowd was just so annoyed. You could even see Elon Musk like rolling his eyes, like yeah, sure. But it was like so annoying because like to me, like if I got the opportunity to ask him a question, I would have asked him like there's so many things you could ask Elon Musk, like why would you waste that asking for a picture? I don't know.
I could see the want for it. I mean, he's probably a busy guy, so you have to use that time wisely and be like, I need that picture, but he's probably not gonna want it
Yeah.
unless I ask for it.
I mean he was signing things afterwards anyways, so like the
Oh,
people
then
asking
that
for it regardless just seemed like a waste of time. But it's
yeah, those
like
people are kind of crazy then.
it just seems like to me it was like okay, this dude's like revolutionary, he's like forefront of technology, he could change the
Definitely.
world. It'd be so interesting to pick at his mind if he just had an opportunity to ask one question, and in my head like wasting that question on asking for like a picture, it just seems like
A waste of
just
time.
so a waste of time, and people are just gonna get annoyed, and they asked like 12 people for questions, and literally 10 of the 12 all asked for either a picture or an autograph.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
think a lot of people are like they see someone, like a celebrity or like Elon Musk, right? Like a visionary of our time. And of course, you're gonna want a picture and an autograph from him, right? It's once in a lifetime opportunity. But you also got to figure, like Elon Musk probably gonna get tired of getting asked repeatedly, "Oh, can I get your picture? Oh, can I get your picture? Can I get your picture? Can I get your autograph?" It kind of gets tiring at some point.
Yeah, 100%. Like he definitely hears it all the time, and it's just like I don't know. It just doesn't mean that much. I feel I think like it's okay to ask certain people for pictures, and it's like it's no big deal if somebody even came up to me while at a three and asked me for a picture, and that was super awesome getting to talk like to fans. But I feel like for something like Elon Musk, especially like given the environment, it just seemed kind of outrageous.
All right, everybody, we have another person coming in to join us. Everybody, give it up for Domain 76.
woo.
Hey,
What's up?
yeah, so I missed part of the first few minutes of this. So I don't know everything you talked about, and I know you're just talking about Elon Musk. But did you see Keanu Reeves there by any chance?
Keanu Reeves. I didn't see him personally. No.
Because like that's something that's been all over the news about E3 recently.
With
Was him
Cyberpunk.
like in like the video game and him like doing the announcement? Yeah.
Yeah, and you
I remember
really
seeing
like
that. I saw the video of that like the day before, the couple days before E3, the day before, and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
really interesting. Elon Musk has been, not Elon Musk, Keanu Reeves has been a lot more popular. I feel like in the media recently, but I did not see him
You're
myself.
breathtaking.
Like he
game's not.
really wasn't there that long, except for Cyberpunk. But now if you look on Reddit, like any page on Reddit, he's all over there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely more popular now. I think what really helped him grow as a actor, I think, was the whole John Wick series. I think that really made him more popular.
Yeah, the John
Yeah,
Wick was a really big
definitely.
thing. I know that like originally I remember him from like The Matrix, so I knew who he was.
Yeah, like I remember one of the first movies I saw Keanu in was Speed. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. Out of control bus, can't go under I think 80 miles an hour or 60, or the bus explodes.
I've heard of that before.
Not familiar with it.
I think Sandra Bullock was
Uh-oh.
in it also. That was one of the first movies I saw with Keanu, and then like you brought up earlier, The Matrix, obviously his most famous role, and
Yeah.
now he's really popular now for the whole John Wick series. You know, a lot of action, a lot of cool tactical stuff, brings in a lot of fans.
Yeah, he definitely seems really cool. I guess like building on other things that I saw at E3. So I watched like they had like a lot of like cool like the entire like Nintendo area was super awesome. Nintendo has like their own entire area, and it's just like decorated very nicely, I guess. I wasn't able to spend too much time like really I didn't actually play any games. I watched people play games because the lines were so long. The lines were like I think the Luigi's Mansion line was like 4 hours long or something, and I was like
Yeah, I was
Very
about
long.
to
it
bring
just
that up.
didn't seem worth it to me when I could just watch. So I didn't actually play any games, but I mean, I was there with people that I knew who were playing them, and I got to ask them a little bit about it.
That's good at least.
Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion is probably what I'm looking forward to the most. That they didn't announce it at E3, but they definitely showed a lot more. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. That they
yeah.
really
Luigi's
showed off.
Mansion was really the only game that I really seemed to care about for me personally. But there's like this E3 in general. I think Nintendo's kind of like last year was like super insane. There's like their really big year, or one of the big years, 2017 and
Well,
2018, and I think they're kind of relaxing more in 2019 just because. I mean, we know now that they're like making Breath of the Wild 2. I think that they're going to make an Odyssey 2 for sure.
definitely, or at
Wait,
least
Yeah,
you call
some
this
3D Mario game
relaxing?
soon.
I
Oh
don't see how
god,
they
if this
couldn't
is
make an Odyssey 2 just because we haven't seen any sort of DLC.
if
Like
this is relaxing, I hate to see them at their fullest. Like they
Yeah, like
announced
last
2 new
last
Smash characters. They announced like they showed us better details for Luigi's Mansion. They showed us multiple things coming to the Switch that already existed. They showed us the Breath of the Wild 2. They went hardcore this year, I think.
I think that this year, yeah, I mean, there's Animal Crossing and there's Mario Maker 2. So those are like the two big games that I think are coming out this year that I can think of.
Wait,
Or
Animal
was
Crossing is
Animal Crossing
coming
delayed?
2020. Yeah, it was delayed
Yeah,
to
March
2020
2020.
for
Yeah. So
so they
what
dumped
other
to
games are coming
2020.
out this year?
I think Luigi's Mansion, right?
Mario and Sonic.
Oh, Mario and
Yeah.
Sonic at the 2020 Olympic Games.
So I don't
Wait,
know. Like in my
hold
head,
on.
it's like they're talking about a lot and announcing a lot, but a lot of the big releases are coming in 2020 besides Mario Maker 2. And you also have like the secondary like main games like Mario and Sonic and Luigi's Mansion 3, but
Wait, there's also
I wouldn't
Pokemon.
put those up to the same caliber as like Animal Crossing, Mario Maker 2, or any of the other like main first party Nintendo games. But I mean they're definitely still up there.
Like
Yeah,
last year, we didn't really get a lot of new games except Super Mario Party, but we got to see like
we got
20
Smash.
minutes or probably even more of that of Smash Ultimate. Like we got the Everyone Is Here trailer, which is my favorite slogan for a video game of all time. Everyone is here, and that was just all fan service. They're bringing back every character, bringing characters like Ridley, and then later we learned K. Rool, and of course this year I don't really think a lot of people in the U.S. care that much about the hero from Dragon Quest, but I've talked to so many people who are really excited about Banjo.
The entire internet collectively exploded when Banjo came out.
Yeah, like I've never even played Banjo Kazooie. It's been something I've been meaning to play, but even I was excited to learn that he was going to be in the game just because he hasn't been in a game, or at least a good game, for like 20 years. We don't really count
Exactly.
the Xbox version.
Yeah.
That don't count.
Same with K. Rool. It's like really all just fan service. Like Sakurai knows that people want these characters, and he had to work with Xbox, or he had to work with Microsoft to get
He
these
had to work with
characters in games.
Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like
With
that's
video
also really shows something about their relationship that Sakurai's able to get a Microsoft character into Smash.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think that a lot of like I think all the game companies they seem to respect each other. The big game companies, they're obviously competition, but there seems to definitely be like some level of respect up there, just with all of them in general, and like the big developers for each one, and the ones that are like in charge of everything.
Definitely. I see Nintendo and Microsoft being more buddy-buddy with each other. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think Sony
Definitely.
is slowly isolating itself from both of them. They're trying to do it their own way. Yeah, like the whole crossplay situation with Fortnite.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, true. The Fortnite controversy. I think that also was like with Minecraft, I believe.
I don't know if it was with Minecraft. You probably know more
Oh
about
no,
it
wait,
than I
it
do.
was Rocket League. That
Yeah,
was the
Rocket
one.
League. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
they just wouldn't allow you to play with other consoles and stuff. But
Yeah, Minecraft, Fortnite, and Rocket League. I think you can all play cross-platform.
yeah.
I don't think you can do it on Sony though, except for Fortnite. I think you can do cross-platform for Sony.
And then they
Because
lock your account on the
Oh
PlayStation.
yeah, I
Oh
forgot
wait,
So
about
if you
what?
that.
try to use it if you use it on the PlayStation 4 and then do anything else, you are unable to play on anything else besides the PlayStation 4. It like locks the account itself onto it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Anti-consumer
there was an
policies
entire
will ruin
controversy.
Sony.
I think that was about like actually that was like last year, that or 2017. The controversy fully. No, it was 2018 that it started. I remember that because everyone made a giant uproar about it. Now it's all about the Pokemons not being in the game.
The Pokey and the Mon.
Yeah, the fact that they're not going to put every single Pokemon in the video game.
By national decks.
Personally, I'm not into Pokemon at all. I've never even played a Pokemon game, like legitimately. I do know it's a big deal. I still got to see like the gameplay at E3. But not my roommate, one of my friends who's actually over, he's at the house right now, Munching Orange. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He has a Pokemon channel.
Oh, dude, I've heard of that guy. He's awesome.
He's actually upstairs right now. But
Oh,
I got to hear him like rant and talk about Pokemon, and he was
let's see your end about it.
giving me his opinions on what he feels about there not being with Pokemon. Whereas I've heard other people say like they understand it because it's like trying to program and all that stuff is just like absurd.
God.
Yeah, from a
Like,
technical aspect, that makes
personally.
sense.
Especially
Yeah.
for like the new console, the vastly improved graphics. Like I've never been a huge Pokemon fan, so I don't mind it as much. Like really, the only game I completed was Omega Ruby, but I think I'm gonna pick up either Sword or Shield.
I'm getting Shield for sure, but honestly,
I definitely want to start like and play one of the Pokemon with either Sword or Shield.
I mean, I'm more of a Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 1 type of guy.
You Gen 2er. Yeah.
That's just me, man.
So like I think overall Nintendo had a really above average performance. Maybe not their best E3 performance, but definitely up there. Definitely better than every other competitor they had. Like especially Bethesda was just awful this year.
I mean, when
they
the
were paying
competition
people
is
for
just
that.
garbage.
I know, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
unfair. Like Sony didn't even show up this year. Like Nintendo definitely won E3. What
Against
have the
people
other
in
companies
wheelchairs.
even offered like to even compete against? I feel like Nintendo could have just like Nintendo literally could have just had their direct Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, and then it just ends and that would have been it, and they probably
Dude,
still
they
would have
could have
won.
just
Oh,
done like
that
they could
actually
have just made
reminded
a
me.
thing of Banjo, and that would have been
Remember
it.
in 2016 when they didn't even have a direct? The only thing they did was Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
I
I think
forgot about
wait,
that. Like, that
2016 was that one?
Yeah, that
Wait,
was,
wasn't that the one that they do the Star Fox Zero stuff with the puppets, or was
that
that
was
2015?
2015.
That was funny.
Dude,
Yeah, like,
2016 is the dark year.
I completely
Don't-
forgot about that.
don't
But
talk about
I
it
was
now.
okay with it. I was okay with it just because we got to see like so much of Breath of the Wild, and at that point we were waiting 2 years to see gameplay.
You know, speaking on the Breath of the Wild sequel, I think one of my concerns is that is it going to get delayed again for Switch Pro or whatever Switch successor there is? Because you know, Breath of the Wild originally started off as a Wii U game, right? But you know, Nintendo Switch is
Yeah.
coming up in the horizon, and Nintendo Wii U. I like the console, but it didn't perform as well as the Switch is doing. And Nintendo knew, like, hey, do we really just want to dump everything for just one Zelda game on Wii U, or should we wait and make it a
That's a
multi-platform
good
for Switch?
question. I
Personally-
personally don't think they're gonna have it on Wii U
Wait, we're asking if it's gonna be on the Wii U.
No,
for Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh no,
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 no.
no, that's never gonna go on the Wii U.
That's not what I was saying.
Dude.
Okay, my bad.
I'm just
I
saying.
Wait, also, I just remembered something else.
What's up, Lord
It's gonna be
Josh?
another 2 years.
You
to
remember,
get-
I forget it. I think it's Ubisoft. They announced Just Dance 2020, and it's on the Wii
Oh yeah,
and the Switch. Not even the Wii U.
it's just the Wii.
Just the Wii,
Is
dude.
it on Switch?
It's on Switch and the Wii. Just Dance
Why
is gonna
the
keep
Wii?
making games for the Wii. I swear, it's gonna be 2089, and we're gonna have Just Dance like 87 for the
On
Wii.
Nintendo Wii, dude, it's still popular somewhere. It's got to be. That's why they're
True.
making it.
They wouldn't be
I
making
mean,
it if it wasn't
making money.
selling poorly. Like
Oh,
I
it's
thought they were done.
crazy.
I thought they were done once the Switch came out with Just Dance games on the Wii.
Fearsome, what I was trying to tell you about the whole Zelda thing is that I'm wondering, which I think they're probably going to do, if they're going to delay Breath of the Wild 2 for the next generation Nintendo Switch successor, kind of like what they did for the Wii U. How Breath of the
Oh,
Wild
Maybe
was
it's delayed
delayed.
at this point. 'cause
No,
they didn't really give an
I
announcement date.
personally don't think that's gonna happen, but I mean they could. That also is an interesting question. If I had to guess, I'd say no. I think that Breath of the Wild 2 will probably be out by like late 2021, maybe 2022. I'd say late 2021 though, if I had to guess. Because I bet you they've been working on it for a bit now. But there's still a lot of time in development. But that's just complete speculation. I think that Nintendo like isn't planning on. They're probably gonna. I think they're gonna wait longer to release a second console after the Switch than they will with the Wii U. They're probably gonna do like an upgraded version of the Switch, but I don't think they're gonna do like. I don't think it's gonna take them that long to develop a second game, especially since they're gonna be using the same engine.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
touch up on that. You know, they've been working on it on a long time, and they've been working on it technically since Breath of the Wild, since it's using the same engine.
Like one of the
Well,
reasons. it
wait,
was-
did they confirm that they were working on it since
One
Breath
of
of
the
the
reasons
Wild
it was-
was done?
No,
Delayed
I'm
so
just.
long.
Go ahead, Domain.
Yeah, one of the reasons it was delayed so long is just because there was so many problems with the new engine, with all like the physics stuff going on. So now that stuff is already done. My guess is we're going to get a name and we're going to get gameplay next year, and we're probably going to get a release. I'd say probably early 2021.
2022 or early 2023. Personally, I think they're just gonna tease it next E3 and then like slowly give information because this is gonna be something they have to build up a lot.
I mean,
Especially
they're already
since we-
starting in terms of the build-up. The thing is like I said, I bet you they've been working on this for a while. I bet probably like a year. Year and a half. They've already been developing it, and on top of that, they've already had the engine. So while there's still like a bunch for them to do, they're probably not going to want to wait that long, especially if they're just announcing. Like if Nintendo's announcing it, then they're at least planning on having it come out within the next 2 years, I'd say. And that it could get delayed, right? But
I mean,
they're probably
I
like,
don't-
there's no way they would announce something and be like, all right, we're not going to release it till 2023, and they announce it in 2019. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't see that as being likely.
That's fair. I mean, technically, that Contra game got delayed a bit that they showed off today. I forget when they first announced it. I think 2015 or something.
Yeah, like I said, if it's
So-
like if it's something, if it gets delayed, then I understand, but their intentions will probably be for another date. But yeah,
Fearsome, I know you talked about Elon Musk earlier today, but I also remember you telling us before we started the DomainCast, you meant Boogie. Is that right?
yeah, I met a lot of YouTubers. I met Boogie298, and that was we didn't really talk much at all. I met him. I said hi. We talked for like 20 seconds. I don't remember what it was about, just like small talk,
Mhm.
and that was pretty much all it was. And then I also met Dashy Games. Again, it was pretty similar for him, like quick small talk. They both seemed to be really nice. I also took a picture with Dashy, and then I also met Ryukar, and he was the content creator who I talked to for a lot longer. He's not as big as Dashy or Boogie298 in terms of like being on the site, but he's still very prevalent, especially with Mario Maker 2 coming out. He's a Mario Maker YouTuber, and it was really awesome talking to him.
Awesome.
We had some really good conversations, and I'm trying to think of who else I met. I mean, just like YouTubers in general, all the Minus World people, if you know who they are, SMG4. They were actually over at the house last night. Just like a bunch of Nintendo YouTubers, Zeltic, Dr. Wiley. I mean, yeah, just like Nintendo YouTubers in general, really. Like too many to even count. Probably like 20 of them.
A lot of people, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well, that's cool though. It just means that you get to meet more amazing people to help work on stuff.
Yeah, and
So-
I mean everybody is really really kind and really awesome. Wasn't really surprised, but it's just cool to know that for a fact. I mean, at least when I talked to them, they were really nice.
So did you go to any presentations like EA? I doubt it, but like Xbox or Bethesda?
No, they don't even to get into those in the first place. Like I think you need to be like have an industry badge. You can't even have like a media badge, which is what I had. It's
Yeah, like and for the Bethesda one, I said this before, it's pretty obvious they were paying people to clap for everything. Like I think they showed a mobile game and people were clapping. Like they were making bad jokes and people were clapping. Like they were obviously paid off.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I could either see people getting paid off, or it was like literally a thing where it's like people are just gonna clap because they're hyped and who cares. I mean, that's what happens like a lot of these things.
And then I think people are also clapping for Fallout 76 Battle Royale, which is I think something a lot.
Oh yeah, the guy said the F word on stage. He's one of us guys. He said a
Yeah.
swear word.
Yeah, they do that because they want to relate to the viewers. Like last year, remember what Todd Howard? Like I don't want to say it on here. To get
What
him
did
on.
Howard say? I
Remember
forget.
what he said?
Oh wait, he did the stupid video where it's like Skyrim on your fridge.
Yeah, that
It's
was
like
that
that's
was.
so relatable.
But there was a real thing though. They actually released Skyrim on the
Oh,
Amazon.
mobile.
Like that was a real thing. And then Ubisoft actually wasn't that bad because Watch Dogs 3 looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like the NPC stuff. It's interesting.
Not
to
really
say
a
the
fan
least.
of Watch Dogs, to be honest.
And I have Watch Dogs on the Wii U. For some reason, I thought it was decent. Watch Dogs 2 actually
Same.
really enjoyed, so I think I'll be getting Watch Dogs 3. Like maybe not when it comes out, but I do want to play it at some point. Looks interesting. And then
Though
some other
the
games.
highlight of Ubisoft definitely is Just Dance 2020. You'll have to
Definitely.
agree on that.
They always do some cringy performance for that.
Dude, I'm so happy to see the Wii getting support again.
Do we need
I
to
thought
get
it was
the PlayStation 2 more support, you know?
Yeah, dude, PlayStation. I'm waiting for PS1 support, man. Come on.
Me too, man.
I
Me
need
too.
PS1 games.
I actually talked to somebody about the whole Just Dance thing. So yeah, Just Dance
Really?
2020 is coming out for the Wii, but not the Wii U, which
Yeah.
means it's outlasted the Wii U, which is pretty ironic. But
Oh,
I think the
it's
reason
so
that they
sad.
do that, the reason it comes out for the Wii still, at least from what I heard from somebody at E3, was that there's like a bunch of people in elderly homes that use Just
Oh.
Dance like to like be active, and all these different homes, like medical places, like recovery centers, elderly places, they all have Wii's, and for them, they don't want to like make those like all those different places like have to update hardware to like a Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
So they just develop it for the Wii, and it also, I'm sure there's still a certain level of people that um still like use their Wii. I know that Nintendo prints brand new discs of Mario Kart Wii, 40,000 of them every single year. Like
Wow.
brand new
Really?
Dang.
Mario Kart Wii discs.
That's
So
crazy.
even that game's it's still being made, which is really funny.
Well, that's actually a really sweet answer, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that maybe it was just because they already had the assets, but I like your answer better.
Yeah, but I think Nintendo, as we said before, like my most hyped games are all Nintendo games. Like Mario Maker 2, I'm looking forward to. I have like 500 hours in the first one. I made levels that like 5 out of 4,000 people actually like were able to beat, because I just like to make my levels as difficult as possible. And now there's like so many more tools you can use in Mario Maker 2 that I look forward to using. I also love playing like online levels that are like super expert, because it's more fun than playing like New Super Mario Bros. Where the levels are really easy.
Yeah, Mario Maker 2 is gonna be a really, really big game. I think especially for established content creators, there's gonna be a lot of opportunity to grow. But even past that, the game just looks super amazing, super fun.
Yeah.
It's I personally think it's gonna be like, because Mario Maker, the original Mario Maker, it did really good as like a game like for the internet pretty much, and like on Twitch and streaming and YouTube videos. But this game has like everything that was holding back the original Mario Maker from being like a top tier streaming game. Mario Maker 2 has like the main thing being like co-op. So I think that Mario Maker 2 is going to be absolutely huge. It's also on a console that's not dead, and it has like
Yeah.
way more options. So I think people are even underestimating how big Mario Maker 2 is going to be. I think Mario Maker 2 is going to be like it's going to be like
System
huge
seller,
in my
perhaps?
Oh, 100%. I personally think that there's going to be an entire wave of Twitch streamers and YouTubers that are going to do Mario Maker 2 stuff.
Yeah.
I think that the
I can
game
see that.
itself, I could see it being top 10 on Twitch for like during the entire summer, pretty much, like as like one of the top 10
Mm.
games, like legitimately, because
Yeah.
there's
I
be
don't
so
see
many people
someone
trying to play it,
passing it.
Yeah, like
especially with multiplayer.
that's one of the games, like I don't watch streams that often. Like I watch DGR occasionally, like stream Mario Maker, and it's one of those games that's like fun to watch because you could also like suggest levels for them. You get
Oh
to see their
yeah,
reactions.
people
Trying
do
different.
like the thing where it's like you donate and you get like put in a code or something.
Yeah,
I've seen a ton of those. Man, I enjoyed a lot of the original Mario Maker just based on the creating aspect.
hmm
And I remember I never made like really hard levels. I just made like levels kind of like normal Mario levels because I was like, I want to play normal Mario games.
did those
But
levels do good?
results may vary.
Yeah.
But pretty much the one thing I'm still intrigued about right now is that slot. Because if you see in the 3D world section, it shows in the area that's like the different section that there's a second option that doesn't exist here, but there's like just a blank space right next to 3D world. And I just don't know what it could be.
Oh yeah, a
Because
lot
like,
of people are talking about that. Speaking about Mario Maker, I met Abdallah Smash.
oh you dude,
I
yo.
got to hold his trophy that he got. He won like the Mario Maker Invitational,
Oh,
Awesome.
oh
and I
my god, I
spoke to
remember
him.
seeing that on YouTube.
And he told me that there is a new power up that Nintendo has not showed yet. He got to play like the single player version of the game, and once you beat the single player
Was it a hammer?
game mode, it's like 4 hours long. Then you unlock a brand new power up that is completely brand new, like it hasn't even been in like previous Nintendo franchises. This is what he told
That's
me,
interesting.
and I asked him to tell me what it was. He was not able to tell me.
He's got that inside info,
non-disclosure.
man.
Yeah,
I
but yeah.
mean-
So you guys got inside info that there's a brand new power up. I don't know if I'm supposed to say
We
that.
got a game domain
Oh,
exclusive.
Here we go. Here we go.
But I actually might have an idea of what it is because I remember I think it's the first revealed trailer for Mario Maker 2 in the 3D world style, in like the power up and like other section. There's in the corner of like one of the like wheels. There's a hammer with eyes. That probably might not be it,
Hmm.
but it has like the weird power up eyes. You know, like those weird creepy eyes they give everything now.
Yeah, somebody said that they think that it could be like that they were talking about like the hammer suit, but I mean, I
Oh,
remember
that
when
would
I
be
talked to
sick.
Abdallah, he said it was like a brand new one. Like,
Yeah, maybe
and
it's
we've
like
already seen that in Mario Bros. 3. So
maybe it's like you use like a melee hammer. Maybe it just turns into God of War.
Probably.
You just
It's gonna be,
melee
yeah,
attack everything.
God of War
I,
crossover.
I
with
could I
Nintendo.
could be like understanding what he said, but like I said, like from what I remember talking to him, he made it sound like it's a brand new, like never before seen power up.
Yeah.
But there's a chance I could be wrong there.
I mean, maybe actually, if it really is never before seen. Maybe it's something like crazy, like if it is the hammer, and it might be not be, but if it is, it could be something like maybe like you can craft stuff as you play. Like maybe like you can just like craft platforms, kind of like how the clad works or the
crazy.
clad flower does, but like it just makes like flat normal ones. So then you could use it as sort of like the level's unfinished, but the player could still play it. That'd be
That'd be
cool.
insane.
Dude, I'd freak out. I'd make no levels. I just give them the power up and be like, do it yourself.
All right, we're kind of running out of time here, so I'm gonna try to get to these next couple topics really quickly. Top picks for E3, things that stand out to you. I'm gonna go off with my list. If you guys have any entries you want to talk about, go ahead right after I tell you mine, and we'll discuss it.
All right.
So some of the stuff I thought was cool was the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order gameplay they were showing us at E3. I thought that was pretty cool. Not as crazy as Star Wars Unleashed, if you guys remember that game with Star Killer, a bunch of crazy force powers. I'm looking forward to the Jedi Fallen Order, although it is EA though, so got to be careful with that aspect. Xbox Scarlet, next generation hardware coming to the scene. Is it really going to be that crazy? Probably is, but I also have my reservations about it. They always hype up next gen consoles to be like, oh, it's going to be so glorious, blah, blah, blah. But then like we have situations where we're getting like 720p, 30 FPS. That's just the reality. The Marvel Avengers video game looks interesting, although none of the characters look like the Marvel MCU characters, but that's probably more of a contract thing where they can't use the likeness of the actors. Understandable. Final Fantasy VII Remake looks gorgeous, and I heard that's going to be an episodic thing. Not sure about that, but regardless, looks like an amazing game. Cyberpunk 2077, right? I think that's the name of it.
2070, whatever.
2077. I thought that was cool with the little trailer they had with Keanu Reeves, especially having Keanu on stage coming out, and his in-game character looks badass as always. I thought that was pretty cool, and we talked about it earlier, the Breath of the Wild sequel that's in development at Nintendo. I thought that looked pretty cool. Not sure if that was Ganon in the trailer. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
Oh yeah, the skeleton guy.
Yeah, the skeleton
I think it
guy.
might be Ganon because it has like the Twilight Princess sort of like thing he has, where it's like the golden crown on his.
I think it's zombie Ganon. I think Ganon's a zombie in Breath of the Wild too.
I think he's just dead. I mean, he might just be
gone.
reincarnated.
Maybe you start the game with Ganon dead, and it turns out that you needed Ganon because he had some sort of power to save the world. So you spend the entire game actually bringing Ganon back to life.
Yeah, maybe
That would be a
Ganon
trip.
is like a good guy in this. Maybe it's like
I doubt it. But
farther in the timeline where it's like Ganon split into two entities, the human form and like the beast.
oh yeah.
So then you have
Ganondorf and Ganon.
beast Ganon being arisen because human Ganon comes back to life, but human Ganon can stop it or some weird thing.
Mm.
You know,
Sounds-
if you pay attention to the trailer, you know, it's something, some weird glowy thing has their hands on him. Maybe they're giving him power or something. That's kind of what I got from the trailer. Like maybe one of his followers or something, or a witch is like, oh, I'm going to bring back Ganon.
So what you're saying is we're gonna get a random character that's gonna be like, I'm gonna bring back Ganon, and
Could
then
be.
immediately dies in the first scene because like,
Flawed magic, right?
yeah, exactly.
Fearsome, what are your big takeaways from E3?
I think that this year in general is just like mediocre because there's nothing that like really stands out to me. Because like I mean I'm more of a Nintendo guy, although I am interested in like the other video game companies. And Cyberpunk 2077 was like that was definitely one of the games that looked cool. And then Breath of the Wild 2 is the other one that I really care a lot for. In terms of everything else, it's definitely interesting. Oh, we never even talk about Banjo Kazooie. He's in Smash, so I guess that's also pretty cool.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like the character. He was by far the most wanted character, I think, and that little reveal that they did was super duper funny. I thought that was hilarious.
yeah. He's like the Mega Man of the Smash Ultimate reveals basically at this point. I don't know how far they can go after this though. Like, what can they do to top this for the last two fighters?
Gino, I want Gino.
Gino's not gonna be in. It's gonna be
He
Mallow.
will.
Just watch.
It's gonna be. I wouldn't even complain. That'd be funny.
If
Lord
it's Mallow,
Droz.
someone's gonna kill me.
Lord
Oh,
Droz, what
yeah.
are your top picks for E3?
Well, I'd have to say on the bottom is actually a game we haven't talked about at all. It's the Battletoads game.
The
Mainly
Battle-
just based on the art style, it's interesting. I like the sort of hand-drawn-ish look it has.
So I take it you're going to be calling up GameStop, asking them if they have Battletoads?
Oh, definitely. If that comes out on Switch, I'm gonna do that. I remember during the Switch's early days, I asked that, and the guy hung up on me, and I felt horrible. Then above that, I'd say would have to be Sword and Shield, because honestly, it's interesting. I mean, the gameplay and a lot of the concepts they're bringing in are nice, but a lot of the news that came in during E3 was
Kind of negative.
a bit iffy. I mean, like, I don't have a main issue with it, but it's just like they say they're going to work on animations, and then they still have stuff. They're importing models for X and Y. They're not improving the battle animations. It just feels like they're going to probably improve a lot of the newer stuff, but
Mhm.
a lot of the older stuff is just going to get neglected, and people are going to focus more on that. But still hyped for it. It's still looking like a good game. And then at the top, probably would have to be Banjo, just because I know someone who loves Banjo,
Mhm.
and he freaked out when he saw it. Like the K. Rool trailer, I think I was more just in love with like the cinematics that they do. They're just so good.
Yeah, like the way they set up the reveal, the story that you
Like
get in the
just
real
like
trailer.
if you saw like the King K. Rool trailer, like the expressions and just how everything was worked just looked so gorgeous. Like I wish there was like a Smash Brothers like short thing like the Pikmin stuff. It just shows that it could just be gorgeous. But yeah, I'm still super excited for Banjo. I haven't really played the games, but I really do find him a pretty interesting character, and his moveset seems to be kind of interesting. Or well, their moveset technically.
I'm
But
kind of
I hope to see some stuff
I'm kind of
from him.
surprised that they got Banjo in this Smash game because isn't he technically under the Microsoft copyright right now, right?
Eh, yeah, he's owned by Rare, which is owned by Microsoft. But I guess the one thing, my assumption, is that K. Rool is kind of in a similar situation. I don't think he's owned entirely by Rare, but he was designed so you probably would have to get Rare's permission to use him for anything. He was last used, I think, in like a Mario sports
Oh,
game.
okay, okay.
So like they probably did that, and like they already got like I remember seeing that there was like some rare spirits. Like I think it was like I think it was red or perfect dark spirits in the code. So people were like, oh, okay, so they're working with rare. So it makes sense that they probably were like, okay, well, can we get K. Rool and Banjo? And they're probably gonna make a Steve spirit, and everyone's gonna be like, Minecraft's in the video game.
Yeah,
But
like I'm not against having him
personally, I'm
on
excited.
by any means. I think it's pretty cool that they managed to get the rare character
Oh, definitely,
onto
I'm
Smash
super
Bros.
hyped.
Yeah.
I love how they designed it. Like it looks like they just took the exact like design from the cover of the first N64 game and just made it more updated.
Yeah, they did a great job.
And like there's like so many things that I personally just see that in it that look amazing. Like when they're hanging on the ledge, just like the cartoony way they do stuff, just awesome.
Fearsome, you
Definitely.
got anything else to say before we wrap it up here on DomainCast?
I think that's pretty much it.
Lord Draws, any last words? Oh,
Nah, not really. I don't really have a lot else to say to be
you don't want
honest.
to shout out your zombie domain?
Oh yeah, Zombie Domain's coming back. I'm gonna teach you how to resurrect the dead, starting with Chibi Robo.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you to listening, for tuning in for the DomainCast. Fearsome Fire, thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Of course.
If people want to know
Sure.
where they can find you, where can they find you, man?
Just Fearsome Fire on YouTube. Probably the best place. And you can find all my other socials from there.
Awesome. Lord Draws, once again,
Yeah,
co-host.
you can just wait here. I'll probably edit a video eventually, and yeah,
Check out
I'll
Lord
be here as
Draws.
well. That's it.
Check him out. Check him out. You can find me at Super Mech Guy on YouTube and MechGuy1 on Twitter. And Domain 76 isn't here, but you can check him out at Game Domain, the entire Game Domain channel.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you for listening in to the DomainCast. Take care, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next DomainCast.
Bye.